The momo and the kanda will eat. They use Tyre to prove it. Then people will consume it. And some people will be associating a certain aroma to momo, not knowing that actually that aroma was given to the momo by the Tyre they use in proving it. So people should be really careful what they eat.
By the reconstructed new Artisan Bridge, on the Enugu Harcourt Expressway lies the new Artisan Market. The market, home to a vibrant northern community, is a melting pot of cultures and commerce centered around the bustling cattle trade. A walk through the market reveals a place in need of improved infrastructure and sanitation, but beyond the uneven terrain and clustered spaces, we find a warm and open community, eager to show us how the market operates and how legitimate meat traders and butchers process the meat sold to consumers. Mohammed, a meat handler at the market, admits that speed is a major reason behind the tire burning method.
We are using tire to roast it.
Okay. Is it faster?
Yes, it's very faster than firewood. This, as you can see, this is what we use for roasting of goats. And secondly, you know, for the animal, as an example like cow, nothing is wasted. Even the shit, they used to sell it. For example, we use the shit manure for farm people, all these kind of things. And those vegetables that we used to cut it. And you know, inside market where they are selling it, all these kind of things. All there is too. The market is good, but you know, we are living temporary here. We don't have our own personal market that we say that yeah, this is our personal market. We used to try to make our own personal market, but we don't roast it, we skin it off.
Okay.
They skin it off, but for goat, ram, then you can roast it. If you want to, yeah, also too, it is from there and still the market.
But one major internal concern for traders here is the presence of scrap dealers and scavengers. Their activities often disrupt business, creating a tense environment for other traders and butchers.
There's people that used to spoil our market, people like scrap people and stuff like that. You understand? But I know for our livestock business is good and we are doing it good. Any person that will say that he spoiled artisan's name or anything like that, that's, I think, is not doing business here or anything like that. But thank God for now. Before you know that, there is one bar here that there is prostitute, all this time. I know where there is prostitute, thief got to be there, all these things. They are the ones that spoil our market, but for now, we are living in peaceful lives and when they chase them out. So yeah, that's it. And thank you for the governor for what he's doing for us in the market. Nowhere to say that you can go and say you had the same. Yes, spit and battery for us. But the problem here is that we don't have where to hide to say because of the rain or anything like that. It is just only most because of what people cost for us in the market. People that are not living here and they are not doing business here. That is it. But that's challenging we face. And most painful challenges is a bomber date that is to stop in north. That when we went to go and buy before coming, all these transport challenges, all these kind of things, that was stopping us.
Yet, The real cause for alarm comes from a critical stage in the meat processing cycle, the proving of meat using car tires. Proving, being a popular term in Nigerian abattoirs, is the process of burning the hair and outer layer of animal skin, typically using fire, often from car tires, plastic, firewood, or other materials, safe or not. While widely practiced across abattoirs nationwide, this method, experts warn, is hazardous. Burning tires releases carcinogenic substances into the air, posing serious health risks. These toxic compounds can seep into the meat, entering the food chain. For those directly involved, respiratory illnesses are a real danger, and for consumers, long-term exposure could lead to cancer and other life-threatening conditions. Research also indicates that the rising cost of firewood, a safer alternative, contributes to the trend. Driven by questions of ignorance, cost, and safety, we visited the Enugu State Ministry of Health for clarity. On this tablet, top officials, including the Director of Public Health and the Commissioner for Health, watch footage of the act and offer their thoughts.
Well, talking about the health of the citizens, it is not an acceptable practice. It's not appropriate. We are going to work with our colleagues in the agri and veterinary services area to enhance visits to abattoirs to ensure appropriate sanitary and health measures in those abattoirs. And on our own side, we're also going to do a lot of health education and awareness creation to talk to our people, to even talk to the people there who are working and trying to roast meat with rubber and tires. This can release carcinogenic substances and cause illnesses in the human system. And because of that, we'll work on the aspect of increased awareness. I'm going to activate the public health division, public health department of the ministry and the health education unit. We will even make a visit there, but to create health awareness specifically for that environment. From time to time we go there. The last time we were there, we were talking about proper hygiene, about water and all that. We have had a cholera outbreak around that area some time ago, which we tackled. So this time around, we prefer to prevent those things before it happens. We are going to collaborate with our colleagues in the agri ministry and those who do veterinary services that practically have a direct duty to visit those abattoirs and make sure they are working the way they should work.
Back at the Afia TV newsroom, Alex and Nnamdi weighing on what's fast becoming a public health concern.
I think that proven meat has been with us longer than we thought. A lot of people who consume, especially goat meat, don't know that before it got to your pot or your table or your plate, that it passed through fire made from tires, used tires. And you know, tires come with a lot of baggage, if you like, a lot of, there's a tar. Tar is a very, very harmful component in the human body. So, but we find ourselves, even as a little boy, when we used to go to Artisan to collect what we call whale, you see all those guys there, that's what they use in, they call it at that time, they use it to make sure that all the fur from the goat goes away. And after that, they will wash it with whatever water they find. And then the whole place is just not what someone should talk about on TV. But at the end of the day, it's something that has been with us. Another thing is the momo and the kanda we eat is also actually prepared through that process. They use Tyre to prove it. Then people will consume it, and some people will be associating a certain aroma to momo, not knowing that actually that aroma was given to the momo by the Tyre they use in proving it. So people should be really careful what they eat. But a lot of people have been consuming both goat meat or even cow hides or whatever that actually pass through the fires of a Tyre. So it's a big problem. A lot of people have never been to Artisan, both the new and the old one. So they won't really understand the severity of the problem. It's a public health challenge, and I want to believe that those involved will take a look. But then if you take a look, what do? That's where the challenge is. If you ask them not to use tires, what would they use? Will you give them giant gas burners to probe the meat, or to probe the goat and the cow hides? What would you give them? What will be the alternative? Because according to them, that's the cheapest thing they can lay their hands on. But the tires do a lot of harm, not just to human beings, but to the environment. Because anywhere it is used turns to black. Nothing will grow there. There will be no plants growing. So the environmental degrading effect is far more devastating to us as human beings. And then when you continue to eat and eat and eat things that are proved with the tire, over time, a lot of things have been happening to people and they can't exactly put their finger on what it is. So it may well be that that's what's causing it. But I think a doctor needs to actually put a finger on that. I'm not a doctor, but I can tell you that there's something wrong with that process.
Of course, it's very, very wrong to use anything that was made from, petrochemicals when you're proving meat. The main reason is when they burn, there are all sorts of things that happen, and carcinogens in the body, health implications, because you're burning things that were products of fractional distillation. Basically, you're burning something that is going to leave deposits on the meat. It's bad for human beings and it's very, very, very unhealthy. Tire, of course, tires are cheap, tires are available, especially condemned tires. Go to any vulcanizer, you see them everywhere. People throw them away. Particularly if you notice on highways where abandoned public transport and lorry tires are thrown. Then of course you have the indiscriminate landfills and dumping sites. And these are places where these tires are brought from. Very cheap, very accessible for these people. The government needs to find another solution for them. Not by giving them the solution, but first of all by doing the first thing, which is making law and policy to make it illegal. Abia State is an example. At Lokpanta now, they've banned the using of the tires. What they now have now is they're working on biofuel, using the waste from the market, the animal waste, animal feces, animal carcasses, or everything. These things decay, and when organic things decay, methane is formed. You have biogas that can now be used as the fuel source to do what they need to do to prove this meat. Because when you're doing it with this, you're using organic material, organic fuel, unlike something that is going to leave a deposit that is dangerous for human beings. I think the Enugu state government needs to do the same thing. And the example is just down the road, literally, from New Artisan. It's literally just down the road. They can go there and see what the Abia state government has done. And the site for obtaining the biofuel is on site. So the same animals there, the remnants, the carcasses, the feces, these are all the things that are collected. And right there on site, the installation is there. You leave these things, they decompose, the methane comes out, and you have your biogas that you can use to, at least healthily, or at least healthier than what they're doing now, prove this meat. It's only takes, the only capital is the first installation of the infrastructure you need to do it. After that is a process that takes care of itself. And because it's one site for everybody, the overhead cost to get this biogas for all the people in that area is basically cheap, almost nothing. And you have the fact that because you're doing it for a particular community, you don't need to set up a very large, grand infrastructure. And the sooner they do this, the better. Because on a smaller scale, you check those that are doing things like suya, they're using plastic bottles, pure water, nylons. So this needs to be something that should be made available very, very quickly, because people are daily building up carcinogens in their body without knowing. People will always have something to say about anything that happens, and people can decide to look at it as a tribal issue if they want. But you need to look at the discipline the Abia state government brought in. Lokpanta is predominantly northern, the people there are predominantly of northern extraction. That didn't stop the Abia state government from closing down residences there, making it a cattle market that closes in the evening, and doing what needed to be done for security and now for health by ensuring that they don't use tires anymore. If we are going to be picking on tribal things above what is good for people, then our problems are just starting. And any market you go to, majority of the people involved in livestock, particularly abattoirs, butchering of cows, goats, are going to be of northern extraction. Why? Because it's something that they do. They are the herders, they are the transporters of the cattle, and they are the ones who are at the markets receiving them, butchering them, and giving them to smaller scale butchers who sell to me and you. So you're always going to find a larger number of people of northern extraction. Law is law, policy is policy. We can't continue to exposing ourselves to health hazards because we are looking at tribe. So I don't think anybody will honestly look at it as a tribal issue except those who deliberately either want to cause mischief, those maybe who are selling condemned tyres and want to keep their business going, or people who just don't want to accept change. But mostly it will be political mischief. That's where you'll find that. And I don't think anybody who is making it a tribal issue will be taken seriously.
The next question would be, where do traders source their meat?
Well, we usually buy goods from new artisan through outside supply from north. Depend the size of the goat, but the goat where we usually there is 100,000, there is 90,000, there is 150, and even 180 to 200. Depend the size.
I used to buy cow at Gariki or Konano. And sometimes we buy 1.8, 2 million, sometimes 2.2, according to the size. Small size, you can get 1,900,000 or 1.5 or 1.2. Medium size. Small one, 900, 800, 900.
At the time of airing the spotlight, the Ministry of Health had already dispatched a team to begin sensitizing butchers at various abattoirs about the dangers of using tyres for meat proving. Perhaps the solution lies in tackling the problem one abattoir at a time. What do you think?